I'm curious, do you run on external validation or do you run on internal validation? That distinction is important. We all need to be seen, heard, and understood. But the issue is that so many of us confuse external validation with being seen, heard, and understood. But there is a judgy character to external validation. It's like a judgment of whether or not our efforts measure up, whether or not essentially we measure up to someone else's standard. If you run on internal validation, you have an advantage because you only have to measure up to your own standards. Truly being seen for who you are and what you want to achieve feels like support. Being seen, heard, and understood does not feel judgy. It doesn't have that judgy character. It just feels like support and love. Next time you talk to someone about a goal you want to achieve or a project you want to pursue, I want you to pause for a moment and think about this question. Am I seeking external validation to prove that the goal I want to achieve is worthwhile or the project I want to pursue is worthy of my time? Or am I simply seeking support from a friend or a family member? We all want an amazing crowd of cheerleaders around us. But I think it is important to realize and recognize that you need to be your own best cheerleader, and you also need to be your first cheerleader, because you need to be the one to hold the vision first, and then other people will follow. There is a video out on YouTube, and it's Oprah talking about not sharing what you're working on. It's titled something along the lines of "Don't share what you're working on." And in it, she says that an idea or a vision is like a seed and it needs to be protected from outside influence. And we need to tend to it and put it in the soil, let it grow, let it sprout. And only a bit later can we share that vision with the world. And then there's a higher likelihood that the world will understand our vision. And if we are unicorns at heart, if we are some of the people who are out there pursuing big things, extraordinary things, beautiful things, then there will always be a lot of people who don't understand us because they're out there pursuing more normal things like cookie cutter lives. There is absolutely nothing wrong in pursuing a quote unquote cookie cutter life. But if you want something that is slightly more outside the norm, that has not been done by your friends or your family, you need to realize that they're coming from a different place. And you also need to realize that all advice given to other people is autobiographical. We cannot, after all, transcend our own experience. And our advice for other people is autobiographical as well. And that means that if it's very far outside of their experience of what is possible, they might inadvertently tell you that's something you want to pursue and that is so important and so dear to your heart that that is just not possible for you. And I don't want you to listen. I don't want you to listen to skepticism. I want you to keep your vision so strong. And that is essentially what Oprah is talking about. She's talking about protecting your vision from outside influences. And I had a very interesting conversation with a friend one day where we talked about discernment in terms of who do we let in on our more crazy, expansive ideas and who do we not let in on it? And are we seeking support or validation? And what she said to me was truly eye-opening, because she said, but maybe people are not coming to make sure that the seed never sprouts. Maybe they're not coming to be contagious with their fear and skepticism. Maybe they're coming to fertilize the seed, to help you realize that vision. And that can also be a little bit hard to distinguish. So the skill of discernment is so important, because I, for instance, am very bad at receiving criticism. And there is a reason for that. I got a lot of criticism when I was a child. I was bullied a lot at school. And the flip side of that is that I actually also got a lot of praise. I got a lot of praise at home. I was a really good student and I was always praised for my achievements. So when you live your life as a child where over here you are being bullied in school and essentially being told that you are not good enough, you're not really part of our group, and over here you're being told you are excellent, you're receiving such good grades, you're doing such good work, then essentially you begin to scan other people to constantly see if you're good enough. And the reinforcement you get when other people think that you are good enough, the praise that you get, will eventually make you
A few moments later.
contort yourself to other people's expectations. And that is essentially seeking out external validation. And I think that was how I was made to run on external validation. I never stopped to question whether I wanted to be a good student. I was silly because, of course, I wanted to be a good student, but I think it bleeds into other areas of our life where we will constantly be scanning to see if other people think that our ideas, our vision has merit. And they don't need to think that. Nate Ortiz of the podcast Be Great with Nate has a really wonderful team jersey analogy. He says that we need to decide who we give a team jersey because not everyone in our lives can be on board on team this goal or team this project. They might support us in other areas, but they might not understand another goal or project at all. Okay, if you have noticed that I have my serious face on in this video, you are not the only one. I am staring at my face and I can see that I look so serious. But I think it's because this is so important to me. I do not want people to give up on their dreams, on their goals, on their dream life because other people are not validating them. That's why I think coaching is so important. I think the most important work of a coach is actually to see, hear, and understand their clients and to help them hold their vision. And I can help you do that. This is essentially the reason I am a coach. I have seen one-on-one coaching help people so much. It has helped me so much. I've seen group coaching programs help people because when you find the people that you really vibe with, who truly understand your desire for more, your desire for different, your desire for carpe diem, your desire for your best life ever, something clicks, something finally happens so that you can go out there and create it because you know you have someone in your corner. It is so important to find someone who matches your vibe. If you're interested in coaching, I have posted a link in the description box below to a 30-minute free vibe check call so we can chat about your goals and your dream life. I want to leave you with a thought. When you show up and perform for other people to be acceptable to them, you are not really showing up as yourself. But once you decide to show up as your real, authentic, non-perfect self, it becomes easier to attract the support you want. Yes, we can always improve. We can improve ourselves and our lives. But remember this, you are good enough just the way you are. Until next time, seize your best life. Carpe diem.